Welcome to session 3 of D&D in the world of Terra. I am Architect, or Jason, your DM. With me as always is Bobby playing Grim,
Hiya.
Lex playing Shae,
Hello.
and Adam playing Phen.
Heyo.
So previously on D&D,
Right. So we managed to get into Baytown, quaint little town. Um, Bigger than I thought it would be. We visited the church where uh, we did some praying, and we did a tour of the cemetery, which was a bit weird, I guess. Then we had outside in the center of town a talk with a tree episode. That was an adventure in and of itself. We met some people in the tavern. I remember a dwarf that I hit it off with. And I believe her name was Mary, the barmaid.
Mira.
Yeah. Mira. Married Mira.
Yeah, Mirabelle.
Mirabelle. And it was of course the barkeep, but I don't remember him too well. That's what you get with support characters. We heard an old tale when we were asking for work from the dwarf about some metal that fell from the sky a long time ago. And we learned about the Briarwood and some fey queen that lived there that grants wishes. And we got it in our wonderful heads that would be a great way to start our adventuring. And that's pretty much where we left it off, I believe.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, that's pretty spot on. Alright, so you are in the Brass and Barley Tavern in Baytown. You are currently sitting with Roken Stoutkeg, the dwarf. And you have Mira the barmaid, who has moved on to serve the other customers. There is, I believe, Taran is the barkeep.
I think so.
Checking my notes. Yeah, and so you found out about the ore that fell from the sky, and you guys were talking about trying to visit the Fey Queen, and seeing about entering the Briarwood for adventure and whatnot. And you were, of course, in the Brass and Barley, waiting for Xander to return. Potentially waiting, if you guys want to, for Xander to return around dinner time. Or probably a little bit after dinner.
How late is it now? How old is the day?
Well, it's daylight savings time there, so let's see. It's probably about 6 o'clock. Presuming that you allowed some time to pass and just kind of drank and maybe had some dinner or whatever. It's probably 6 or 7, depending on how much time you want to let slip through.
Okay, so it's about dinner time, almost.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we might as well wait then, right?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Fine by me.
Okay, you order some food and time passes. The clientele of the bar shifts a little bit. Some of the townsfolk who are in there return, or have left a while ago. They return to their farms, to other daily chores. The two soldiers on the upper level, they have ordered food and are currently eating that. Roken returned to the smithy not too long ago. telling you that if you needed anything while you were in town of his services, to let him know. And Tarn is currently overseeing the kitchen staff, which has arrived. It's a man and a woman who kind of work in a back room where the stoves and all that are. So now they have more fare than just the soup. But, as you eat the food, it's nice. It's not super fancy or anything like that, but it's good. It's hearty. It's tasty. Well enough made.
Good, honest peasant food.
It's better than peasant food probably, but it's decent fare for a place that does a lot of business at other times of the year. All right, so you're eating, pretty much done with your meal. Uh, Another group has entered the bar. This appears to be more kind of the sailors. There's a few what you might consider like the adventuring types, not necessarily actually adventurers, but people who are maybe out and traveling. They don't look like merchants, but they also don't look like just peasants coming in from the farms. There's let's see, the old gnome has left. He was in there earlier, but he left. There's two dwarves with the groups of sailors. There's now a lizard man looking guy in one of the corners, and he's with what appears to be a group of. They have kind of light armor or basic armor on, and simple weapons. They might be caravan guards or something of the sort, but he appears to be one of them. And yeah, that's basically how the bar has changed. It's a little bit more lively, a little bit more going on, boisterous even. Not full, but not as low key as it was before.
Loki.
Are the sailors more military, or do they look more like normal merchants?
They're not well dressed like actual merchants, but they do not have a uniform like naval personnel.
Pirates.
All right.
Does
Do the
one of the
dwarves-
sailors have an eye patch?
Yes.
Excellent.
The roll.
So
Are the
one of
dwarves
the
making?
dwarves has an iron eye patch that appears to be bolted into his skull.
That seems like needlessly painful and not very comfortable. But with rust and all that on the sea,
Yeah, I bet that hurts.
right? Do they have any? Do they seem to have any inclination to talk with our dwarf?
Your dwarf left. Your dwarf went back to Roken. Went back to the forge before dinner. He stayed
Well,
with you guys for a little bit, but now you've been in here for a couple hours now. So I think you came in for like a middle to late lunch, and then have been in here for kind of a while. Probably going over plans, discussing what you want to do, which is why I have every confidence that you guys are completely ready with decisions made of what you want to do and how you're going to do it. I'm nodding vigorously. You would know that if we played at a table.
all right. No sign of Xander yet.
No, not yet.
You think he maybe ran into some trouble, guys?
He did indicate that he would probably be, it would be after dinner, by the time he arrived.
After dinner.
Later evening. He didn't give you the impression that it would be like 11 o'clock at night for late drinks, yay! Or, out all night partying, but he did indicate it would be a while.
So what are we going to do, guys?
Well, the food is really good. I wouldn't mind hanging out a little bit and eating some more.
You haven't had enough yet?
Well, I'm not still hungry. I'm just saying it's really good. I haven't had food like this in a while.
No. Well, I guess the prices are fair.
You know those sailors, Phen?
Yeah, what about them?
I'm wondering if you recognize them.
Oh,
I don't know much
think
about.
so.
I assume you guys all know each other. I don't know how that works.
No, there are a lot of sailors. Lots.
Oh, it's not like a club.
Also, Phen is totally talking with his mouth full.
Yeah.
That's not just Adam.
I didn't even know. There was part of me that was like, his food may not even be here yet. He may just know that Phen is eating. But then there was also he might have just shoved something in his mouth to make it seem like this isn't even food. I've done that before with like a paper towel.
Yeah.
Put your finger in your mouth.
Yeah, we could figure out where they're from. You should go talk to them, Shae. That's the first step in becoming a hero.
Yeah, hey, maybe they know somewhere we could go to do heroic things.
Yeah, heroic stuff.
And that's how they got press gained.
Right? I thought we had a plan.
Well, we've had several.
And none of them goes according to plan. Ever.
How's that
Yeah.
go? Since when have what we planned and what takes place ever been similar?
No, I thought the idea was we would check out the fields for the where the ore dropped. What was it? 60 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We'll probably won't find any ore, but
We'll
maybe
find
we
adventure.
I'm hoping maybe we find some traces.
Are we still waiting for Xander to show us how to get there? Was that the whole idea?
Wasn't the farm like where it dropped? To the north of the town?
Yeah.
North edge of the town?
It's along the water's edge to the north.
If he doesn't show up after a while, I suppose we could mosey up there and see what we find.
Well, have you finished dinner yet?
Well, I'm saying we'll stick around a little bit and see if he shows up. But if not, I don't see waiting around for him all night. He might show up and we can come back later.
All right.
It'll be easier to find the rocks in the daytime, though.
We could leave Mira a silver and just tell her where we went, and if he shows up, she could watch for him for us. She's friendly that way.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she's a lovely lady that I'm sure will not just pocket the money. But yeah, I mean we can wait, sure. And yeah, you're right. We might actually be better off waiting till the light comes back.
Because it's hard to find rocks in the dark.
I'm not expecting to find any rocks.
Well, and I can make my mace glow like a torch if we need light. So, we got that going for us.
Which is nice.
Okay, so are we postponing our adventuring to tomorrow then? We'll just wait for Xander.
I guess, a cardinal rule of stumbling into danger is don't do it in the dark.
I doubt there's going to be much danger in a farm field. Though we might, if we go a bit earlier in the morning, we might then take a short trip to the woods and see what we find. Not actually, go deep in there, but get a feeling for it a bit on the outskirts.
And I've always wanted to tip an ox.
Do keep in mind that the woods are to the south and the farm is to the north. Not that these are large distances, but still.
Right, that's why I suggested going early, so we can go to the farm first, and then we can turn around.
Sounds good to me. Is this the place where we have rooms?
Nope.
Didn't Phen secure us a place to stay?
You have
or was that forever ago?
That's in a different building.
Yeah. At the Half Harbor Rest House.
Got it.
And Trading Post, which is the building marked number 2 on your map. the map that I did not share with our listener,
Ha ha.
who I think is soulless.
Our one listener.
Yeah. It's like how in our other game we always just used to make shoutouts to Sneggy, which
Right.
actually freaked him out one time because he was at work and then all of a sudden we said hey to him and he wasn't really paying enough attention. All right, so you're going to continue to wait and then just plan on leaving in the morning?
Yeah.
That sounds good.
All right. An hour passes.
And now I'm full.
Yeah.
I'm not paying your bill, by the way.
I would never expect a lady to pay for my bill.
Okay. They don't do that where you're from?
Not many ladies where I'm from.
Oh. Now I'm curious. Where are you from?
I grew up in a small cell around not very nice men.
That sounds not good.
That's why I don't stay there anymore. I'm here now.
I grew up on a farm.
That sounds lovely.
That sounds much nicer than a cell.
Most things are.
Did you escape or did they let you go?
Let's just say we reached a point where our association was no longer a benefit to anyone. I didn't exactly train all my life to be a priest. I think they more or less let me be one so I would go. And I'm okay with that.
Oh, well. I guess that's all that matters then?
At this point, I'm just happy to see the sky.
I bet. Well,
I like
for
this
what?
guy.
Yeah, it's alright.
So, speaking of our pasts, Shae, if it's not too probing, I couldn't help but notice, a couple days back, you showing some identification papers that made it seem like you're kind of an important person. I mean, are you from an important family, or do you just have really good forging skills?
No, actually, those papers are on the up and up. I wouldn't say I'm an important person per se, but yeah, my adopted family is of some importance at least.
Nice. I'll bet you've got some stories.
Some, yeah. It's one of the houses that you guys were so negative about. So.
Did I offend you? If I did, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Likewise.
I'm not offended by ignorance.
Believe me, no one should talk ill of someone else's family less than me. Where I grew up, I can't imagine. I wouldn't wish my family on anyone.
Yeah. Fortunately,
I mean, 10 by 8 cell, after all.
You must have had a small family for them all to fit inside one cell.
Oh, no, that was just for me.
Wow.
Yeah. You could say it was my adopted family. My real family left me there when I was too young to remember much more. All I have from them are stories. Well, like I said, that's in the past. I'm choosing to look forward. Although if we could avoid churches from now on, that would be cool too.
But you seemed so eager to go in there.
Yeah.
I thought it would be different. I thought maybe here in that setting and in those circumstances I might find, the peace that I was always told I would find there. It unfortunately just felt all too familiar.
Well, but if you want to find peace and you think you'll find it in a church, you got to try them all.
Maybe. That's not
I know
terrible
what we're
advice.
doing for you. We're going to find all the churches. So Shae's going to be a hero. And I'm going to keep chasing the horizon. And you, Grim, you're going to find your peace. That's what we're going to do.
Sounds good. What horizon are you chasing?
All of them.
So running toward, not running from?
Yeah.
That's a new dynamic I'm not familiar with.
Well, how can you see the whole world unless you keep going?
Honestly, I never really thought about seeing the whole world. I just kind of wanted to be free to roam it.
There's a lot of world out there. Just think of the things we're missing right now.
I don't know. Good food, good company. I have to tell you, when we first met, I wasn't sure about either of you, but past couple days, there are very few people in my life I've ever trusted, and it feels good to have some people along for the ride that I can hang with, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So on the boats, we would have to stick together. So for me, it's easy to trust people because until they do something to show that I can't trust them, then I have no reason not to. So that's why.
That sounds so freeing. What a way to look at the world.
Just try it.
Maybe one day I'll learn how from you.
Yeah.
Go chase one of those horizons.
Yeah.
I've only had one ale, and this is kind of the best feeling I've had in a while.
Good.
Yeah,
That's how I feel all the time.
Nice.
Phen, roll a perception check with disadvantage.
6 plus my number is 10.
Yeah, you just see that the sailors. There's actually another group of them that came in while you guys were having that discussion, or just over time and kind of got together. So there's a couple different groups of them. They're getting rowdy, not in a oh shit, a fight's about to break out sense, but in the sense of just they're having a good time. They're in port. They're
Carousing
enjoying themselves. Yeah.
So Phen points up to them. See those guys? They're living. That's all they can do.
Well, living in and of itself isn't that wonderful. You have to, of course, make something of that life.
For who?
For yourself.
But if doing that, and he points to the sailors again, if doing that's what makes you happy, why do you need to do more?
Absolutely, if that works for you. I'm just saying that just living doesn't have to make you happy per se.
I see what you're saying. I see. I'm chasing the horizon. That's what I'm making of my life. So you being a hero, that's what we're going to make of your life. And finding Grimm's peace is going to be his life. I see what you're saying. You're smart, Shae.
I read a lot of books.
But not Serenity.
No. I'll do some research about these movies you talked about.
It's a good read. I wish I'd brought a copy with me, but I'm not sure that it's made it this far west.
That's unfortunate. Well,
maybe I could just try and remember some of it, tell some stories when we have downtime.
Oh, that sounds good. I like that.
I mean, I've never actually tried that before, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
Well, I appreciate it. Is Xander here yet?
Alright, so as you kind of wrap up that bit of conversation, you notice that a couple of the sailors kind of jog out. You think maybe they a couple of the ones behind them kind of laugh or something. So you think maybe they forgot something on the ship or forgot to do something and are now trying to get back before they get in trouble for going out and partying without securing something. Um,
Out of character. That sounds like every sailor friend I have.
yeah. Did we tie the boat up? I don't know. So, as they're kind of going out, they kind of push past a man coming in. And after a moment, you recognize the man as Xander, but he's more cleaned up, cleaned cut, freshly shaved. What kind of patch beard he had before is now neatly trimmed into mustache goatee. His black hair is kind of neatly done and kind of trimmed up on the sides and all that. So all in all, just looks much fresher as opposed to filthy beggar peasant that he kind of looked like before. And it says
Does he look?
what?
Does he look like he's well off, so to speak?
He's wearing a fairly simple but clean, like tunic and pants.
All right. I was wondering if maybe he looked like he had some, like he was a merchant or had some more important position, or if he was just a farmer.
He doesn't really look like a farmer, but he doesn't look like he's not as nicely dressed. There's no fanciness to what he has on. It's fairly simple, kind of a light coat, and then just like I said, simple tunic pants, and boots only as dirty as they really need to be.
All right.
And he kind of looks around, gets a lay of the place, smiles at Mira as she walks past delivering drinks, and she says something to him that you don't hear. You presume, of course, that they know each other, as everyone seemed to know who he was. And he comes up to the bar and greets you and asks you how you're finding Baytown and if you were able to get rooms and food.
Hey, Xander. Yeah, we settled in nicely. Nice
Yeah.
wood here.
And we're
Nice
also
view.
going to make Shae a hero, and we're going to find Grimm's piece.
Mm-hmm.
Piece of what?
Peace.
Ah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Harder to come by these days.
You clean up nicely, by the way.
Damn it, woman! Is no NPC safe? No.
No, I just
Yeah.
mean compared to how he was from the prison.
Yeah, why'd you get arrested, by the way? I don't remember.
For stealing the carriage and some other things.
You kind of did that for us.
Let's go with yes.
Okay.
He signals the barman, and a couple moments later gets a pint of ale.
So, how was your homecoming?
He said, "Good. It was good to be back. Certainly nice to be a little bit distant from what we saw in the city."
Absolutely.
I think it might be a little while before any of us can safely go back to Brune.
No.
Do we need to go back to Brune? I didn't really like it there.
I'll go back one day.
I would like to go back at some
gotta-
point.
He says it depends on how else one might want to get into Seraphis. If one had any business into Rome. The city isn't a necessary stop, but does make things easier.
So, maybe a bit of a personal question. If so, I apologize if I offend, but people seem to know you in this town, and they seem to have, let's call it, mixed feelings about you. And I was just wondering, what do you do here?
He kind of laughs a little bit, and he says, "I've lived here for a very long time, so I know pretty much all of the townsfolk. As for doing, a little bit of everything that comes our way, I suppose. I'm sure they've mentioned that this place gets pretty busy during the caravan season, when the roads are more open and the ships are coming in full sail."
I see. He's one of those guys. Right. I'm not saying that to his face. That seems rude.
But you're saying that part to your party, like, so you're not facing him, so it's not to his face. Yeah.
So what you're saying is you're a jack of all trades. You do it all.
Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that,
What did you-
Whatever pays.
and sometimes it doesn't. Like in Brune.
I feel like there's more reason you were in Bruin that you're not telling us. But that's fine. You don't have to. So, you know the rocks that the smithy wants?
No.
He told me a story about some ore and how it fell here a long time ago. And it's probably gone, but he told us where it fell 60
Oh,
years ago.
yeah. No, I remember hearing stories about that. One of the farms up north. I think
Do
it's
you know
the
what it is?
old Vonnon farm, I think. Um, I don't know. From kind of the stories about it, it almost sounds like it would be mithril or some sort of silver, maybe some sort of magical rock. I don't know.
Magic rocks. Could you draw us a map to get to that farm? We're going to go there tomorrow.
He says, I don't think you really need a map if you go up the north road. It's the first farm.
Oh, see? Good. Now we know which farm it is.
First farm on the left. There you go.
Perfect. And then, so they said we should stay out of the thorns down south.
The Briarwood.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, you saw a bit of it as we came in. We were right on the edge.
Yeah.
Not
What kind of
terribly
stuff's
safe
in
to
there?
go in any further in.
What kind of stuff's in there?
All manner of beast and badness you can imagine.
I mean, have you been in there?
I've delved in a bit. Like I said, I knew that route pretty well, but
Was there treasure there? Like, did you find neat stuff?
neat is a strong word. I didn't die, and I think that's good enough for the Briarwood.
That's fair. Well,
That sounds scary.
yeah, it does. It sounds fun too.
If the beasts don't get you, something else will.
Like what? Phen looks super duper excited.
Well, if nothing else, there's ogres and their kind in the wood.
Oh, that's
What's
awesome.
what's an ogre? It sounds ominous.
Big and dumb.
I think you would know relatively, unless you're kind of just asking in general.
Well, considering I haven't been out and about for very long.
Yeah, maybe. So you might not have a good picture of them, but you would probably know the word as like the same way we use ogre now. Guy who runs around yelling nerd at the top of his lungs, basically.
Drink,
He says,
drink, drink,
big,
drink.
dumb brutes. They live in tribes throughout the Briarwood. Mostly on the edge, but deep enough away from humans. It's fairly rare, due to military patrols, that they get any sort of organized raid going on a place like Baytown.
Sounds
It's one
like
of the reasons why every city in Jerum is, if it's big enough, it's walled.
so they're dumb, but they're big enough and have numbers enough to be scary enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go looking for those.
Are you kidding? That sounds like so much fun.
Imagine an orc.
I think you and I define fun in very different ways, Phen. Although, shit. Tonight I've decided I need to learn something from you, so maybe chasing one of these ogres down is exactly what I need.
Yeah, but maybe we could find just one.
He says,
Would it be heroic to kill one? Because, Shae, are you scared to go looking for an ogre?
A bit.
Well, if you're not a little bit afraid, then your actions cannot be heroic, right?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
See?
All right, well, maybe if the farm thing doesn't work out, we can go hunt an ogre.
Or something. What kind of big scary beasts are in the Briarwood?
Are there like medium-sized, unfriendly beasts that we could start with?
Well, he says, well, if you're familiar with most normal woods, you've got your wolves and potentially some bears. But the Briarwood has different predators.
Are there a bounty for any of them? Because in addition to doing something heroic for Shae, I'm down to about 8 gold pieces.
Kind of.
And I'm broke too.
His beard and says, I'd imagine some of the beasties' tusks or bones or pelts could fetch some money with some of the merchants here. Maybe some of the more unscrupulous wizards are looking for things like ogre
piss.
But
Gross.
Don't ask how I got it.
it's not important, or it's important to note that he said piss, I said parts. But he says, as far as an ogre goes, imagine an orc, fleshy and pale instead of green or gray in skin tone. No redeeming qualities whatsoever. All anger all the time. And made of solid meat muscle. And flab.
Don't eat it, though.
No?
Probably not. Maybe. I'll be honest, I've never had ogre. I don't think I want to have ogre. Sounds
It
scary.
doesn't sound like a delicacy at all.
Sounds tough.
He
chewy.
looks at you, Phen, and he says,
Greasy.
I've heard they especially like the taste of halflings.
Well,
Oh.
it's because we're so small and sweet. Let's be real.
So maybe they'll come looking for you.
Hey, that'll be a new one.
See, at that point, then, self-defense and all.
Then
I'll
Shae
chop out some teeth for a wizard.
Then Shae will save me.
Yes.
Become a hero. I'll have a new exciting thing. It's perfect. Let's get him to hunt me.
You just put him on a stick and walk through the woods.
Yeah.
And reach him into different places just to see what happens. Is there one over here? No.
Just hang him from a tree and wait. We'll put up a blind, and we'll hang him from a nearby tree, and just wait and see what comes along.
He says,
Yeah, it's perfect.
He says if you guys are really set on going and ridding the land of some of their ogre problems, just remember the Briarwood is their home. And
So we just got
they know how to
that
train
would
the
make
creatures
us
in
the
it.
assholes.
We'll just give them the advantage.
Yeah, probably.
But they're stupid.
That they are.
And I'm sneaky as fuck.
I mean, I've got an int of -1, so I can't talk a lot, but
But what little talking you do, friend,
dude,
friend is going to run laps around an ogre.
I appreciate the compliment.
He makes
It's
that
like-
sound. That's him, not me. That's
Okay, so do you know who those sailors are?
He looks him over and give me a. Who is looking at the sailors and who is looking at Xander?
I think we're all looking at the sailors now that Phen said that. Like the whole table looks over at them.
Okay. After a couple seconds, he says, "I think the dwarves are from northern Otara, somewhere on the border of Darum. Possibly closer to the 12 tribes, but I wouldn't stake my money on it." He says those men came in on one of the sloops. Sloop? Is that the right word?
That's a small ship.
Yes.
I was
Come
like,
on,
is
the
it
sloop,
sloop?
John B.
Is it shoop?
Yeah,
No, sloop.
it's sloop.
Sloop.
Shoopy doop.
If looks could kill, you would be an Uzi. Alright,
Okay.
do you need a moment?
No,
Is that
I'm
not
good.
what we were doing? So he says, the one group came in on the sloop. The other group there, those two are fishermen. The tall, younger one, I think he's in the Navy. He just must be off duty. Maybe he's spending some time working on one of the merchant vessels in and out. Or perhaps he decided to go private.
Hoist up the John B. sails. Let me go home.
He says those other men over there with the Draughty being the Dragonborn, essentially. He says, those guys, I think they're a mercenary unit out of Seraphis.
Is that like Los Angeles, but in Terra?
Seraphis is the big walled city.
Mm-hmm.
The one that's like the size of like half
I
of
just-
Darum.
Yeah, it has a similar, like Seraphis, Los Angeles.
Oh, I
Yeah,
gotcha. He says, although I believe the
Seraphim were warrior angels. Sorry, go ahead.
He says, I believe the Girardi is from Osun, judging by his scales and build. He looks back at you guys and takes a big sip of his ale.
Well, those guys up there, they were getting really excited about something before, and I was trying to figure out what it might have been without being nosy.
I don't know. Their two friends passed me on my way in. I don't know. I imagine they just came in. They certainly were not here last I was here. So
We
presumably
could
they
buy
just
them a
came-
round of ale, and they'd probably tell us what's so great, if we want to know.
We got enough things on our plate.
Not Grim. Grim finished his food.
Yeah, and sopped up the juice with some bread.
Bread.
Do we have to pay extra for the bread?
You haven't yet. In
I
fact,
think Mira likes
Xander's
you.
name got you bread in the first place here.
Fair.
I think Mira larbs you.
Oh,
I'm not familiar with the dialect.
there was a woman in the bar as well, with like close or like very tightly pulled back hair and kind of angular features. I think I said she had silvery, like not gray, but like she had gone prematurely gray maybe, but nice lustrously silvery.
Like an
Um,
elvish silver.
she was possibly she was there until probably around dinner time, and then she left a little bit before like quote unquote dinner when the kitchen staff started cooking. But she's not there anymore. I don't know if any of you wrote down who was in here, but I didn't want to forget anyone.
I wrote down some things, but not her.
So Xander says, so it sounds like you guys have a good plan for what you're wanting to do. Are you staying in Baytown for a while, do you think?
I wouldn't mind staying for a while. I like this town. This is a nice town. Quaint. That's the word. Quaint. It's
And nobody
quaint.
here is trying to kill us. We can't go back to the other place because of reasons.
Which is also very quaint.
Quaint, but with prices on our heads by now, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, I'm keeping an ear on that one.
Mm-hmm.
That
I
damn ring.
appreciate.
I really want to know what's in that box. One day, guys, we're gonna have to go back and figure out what's in that box.
If we can get a wish, you can wish to know what's in the box.
Hey.
Eh?
Or
A fantastic use of the wish spell.
we can all just
Or
we can all just spend
wish
a lot
for
of
the box.
time like killing monsters and finding cool things until we're awesome enough to go back and not worry about a price on our heads.
That's fair. No, you shouldn't wish for the box. You should wish for what's in the box.
Well, maybe
What's
not. We
inside
don't
the
know what
box
that is yet.
Spiders.
Yeah, ooh.
Spiders are not okay.
Yeah, but what if there's something fancy in the box and you only wish for the box?
I
Like
will
fancy
wish for the
spiders.
box and its contents as it sits.
That's two
right now.
wishes.
Now you're just getting all sorts of technical shit. You're gonna make a great hero.
I think she knows magic better than we do.
Heroine? Heroine?
Xander will say, so you're really set on going into the woods?
Well,
A little
maybe.
bit.
Depends on whether or not we find the rock.
Right? That
Or
could
a
alter
trace for the
things.
rock.
We're not gonna find a rock.
Probably not. But we might, like, get a clue.
So Xander says, all right, well, I've seen you guys fight. You can hold your own, but you do. I'm not kidding. You need to be careful. If you get in over your head, you need to be ready to run away, and hope that whatever is chasing you gives up, or
I
eats
got
the
little
halfling
legs.
first. What?
I'm pretty damn quick, okay? I might have little legs, but I'm pretty damn quick.
We don't have to be faster than the monster, just faster than a nameless NPC.
Or the halfling. That's the joke.
Who
It's
moves
okay.
25
yeah,
feet?
but I'd really rather keep the halfling around.
It's important to note that the halfling moves 5 feet less per turn than everyone else.
Yeah, no, that's a thing. These damn little legs. Yeah, so only if we don't find any, like, clue for the rocks that fell out of the sky. It's probably dragon poop.
Ew.
He says, and don't think just if it's a sunny day that it's going to be nice in there. There are going to be parts where it's so dark you cannot see without a torch because it is overgrown from all the
Got that
briars.
covered. I mean, technically I can kind of see in the dark, but
We'll
for
be
the rest of
careful.
you, I've got that light up mace action.
Do you play awesome music when you have it on?
Not so much play awesome music, but I've been known to, vocalize a beat. I don't know how good it is.
I'm sure it's fantastic.
I like to think so. I've always wanted to be a bard.
I like how we mention bards in different contexts in every episode. And sometimes we're pro bard and sometimes we're not.
Well,
Um,
I mean, a bard is a bard, but the one priest that, actually treated me with some friendship and some care used to tell me stories of an amazing bard named Kanto. I always looked up to the legend.
cross-contamination is too real.
That's my way of shouting out.
Um, he, yeah. So he says, "All right."
We'll see. I'm sure we're gonna find some neat treasure or some clue for the rocks. We're gonna find them. We're gonna deliver him to the blacksmith, and he's gonna look at Shae and say, "Last, you're me hero," just like that.
Why are we going to deliver it to the blacksmith?
I don't know, because he seemed to want it.
Yeah. I thought we wanted to keep the ore for the wish. Or if we meet the Fey Queen.
Oh, that's right.
Tribute.
That's right.
It's not been that long since we had this conversation.
No, but see,
Been
I'm
like
a
an
little
hour and a half,
absent-minded.
yeah.
I'm a little absent-minded.
That's fair.
And, we got talking about going on adventures, and I forget stuff.
Okay, that's fair. Well,
So, what time is it now?
9-ish, maybe.
Okay. So, we're going to go early in the morning, right? Like 6,
Yeah.
sun up.
Right? Maybe leave a little before sunup, but by the time we get there, it'll be light enough.
well,
Yeah.
I would like it if the farmer was up when we go traipsing through his field.
Yeah.
So
That's
let's
fair.
go maybe a little bit after sunup.
Works for me.
I like
should
it.
Should we retire for the night? Pay our bill, go back, catch a nice feather bed nap?
Big spoon.
Wait, are we all sharing a bed, or did we get separate rooms?
We're sharing a room
A
With
room.
2 beds.
with 2 beds and a couch.
I have no problem with the couch or even the floor. I'm comfortable sleeping just about anywhere I can stretch out.
You can sleep on the bed. I'm little. I can sleep on the couch.
Either
Why
way,
don't-
I'm
why
good
can't
with
you
whatever.
why can't you guys just share a bed?
That's fine with me too.
Big spoon.
Perfect. I prefer the comfort of the little spoon.
Yeah. All right. Then,
You can be my nightmare protector, Phen.
I will totally do that.
Although, just, full transparency, if I do have another nightmare, I tend to sweat buckets. So, sorry in advance.
It's cool.
Or downright cold if there's a breeze.
That should wake you up.
You would think.
Damn, nightmares are stupid.
Generally, it's the tremors and terrors and screaming that wake me up.
Well,
We gotta find your piece, man.
Yeah. That would be nice.
We're gonna find it.
Well, so, off to bed and start this adventure in the morning?
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Let's pay up.
Yeah, actually, I'll drop 2 gold pieces on the table. I assume that's probably enough to cover our meal, drinks, and a tip.
I was gonna joke that you're like, all right, what's the damage? I was gonna be like 8 gold, but no, 2 gold would way more than enough handle everything.
Excellent.
You could probably do 1 gold and still have left a little bit of gratuity.
And that's still, okay, 1's good. As long as we leave a little something for Mira,
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
I don't think.
Yeah,
you guys
good night,
understand.
Xander.
3 silver each. He says, I'll be in and out of town over the next few days. I tend to come in here most nights just to see what's going on. So I'll see you around. Let me know if you guys need anything.
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks, Andrew.
Where do you live, Xander?
He says, a little ways outside of town.
Oh,
About
okay.
an hour by horse.
That's a long ways. Pony.
About an hour and a half by pony.
Those little legs.
They do move 5 feet slower than an actual horse.
As you start to leave, he says, "Remember, it's more dangerous at any given point than you think."
That sounds ominous.
Dun dun dun.
Well, no sleep for us.
This is
Just
fine.
I meant in the woods, not the half harbor. The inn's
This is fine. Everything is fine. So, to bed.
All right, you go to bed and you wake up the next morning ready to go on your adventure.
Do we get our hit dice back?
You get half your hit dice back if you. So you guys are level 3, so you get 1 hit die back if you spent 1 or more.
Didn't we get half of them back the last time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, so now I'm up to 3.
And of course you are at max health, max slots. Everything resets, but hit dice are the one thing that doesn't go up fully, or doesn't get restored fully when you take a long rest.
Sweet.
All the abilities.
All right. So it's morning?
Yep.
All right.
To the north!
We set off north. Do we know the name of this farmer?
They said the Vonnen Farms, so you would
Vonnen.
guess that's the family name.
To the Vonnen farm.
All right.
Indeed.
You walk up the north road, and you see that it goes alongside, past the tree. So it goes alongside the large building on your left, which is like there's the smithy there, the forge and all that. There's a tanner, all these different kind of trades, things that not only would be needed around a dock, like a carpentry shop and other such thing, repair areas for sails, that kind of stuff. So basically kind of a minor little work thing, but it's a fairly large building, about the same size as the Half Harbor Rest House, or a little bit bigger than the inn. As you go along the road, you see against the side of the building, the building kind of curves inward a little bit, and along the side of the building there's a big fountain, and the fountain has like a little statue on it, or rather not a statue, but like a carving of a face that's spouting water out into the fountain, so that it's flowing.
That's neat.
Up ahead a ways, you see a farmhouse up on the left with a relatively small field.
Do you think we should knock and ask to go into the field?
Well, do we see anyone?
Not from here, no.
Well, we can just walk up to the house and see if anyone is awake.
All right.
Seems more polite than just waltzing into their fields, right?
Right.
They
Well,
might hate it.
yeah, they might think we're there to steal something other than the meteorite.
I wonder how often people ask him about the meteorite. I bet they have some.
You know, if it happened often enough, I would like start collecting rocks and selling them in gift shop format.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you asked about the meteorite. Sure, I have one right here for 1 silver.
See this big one here? 25 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Could make a whole tunic out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Wondrous
these-
magical properties.
Well, these two are discussing scams. I'll just walk up to the door and knock. Not overly loud, just in case they're still sleeping.
It's a relatively small farmhouse, maybe a couple rooms, um, and after a moment you hear a woman inside. Um, you can't really tell exactly what she says, but it sounds like you kind of catch the end of it, but you don't catch like it almost sounds like maybe she said a name or yelled out a name or something. Um, you kind of catch if that is you knocking on my door, you are in trouble. And in a few moments you hear stomping on a wooden floor, and then the door swings open, and a stocky woman in farmer's garb or peasant garb opens the door. Um, she's got a little like a bonnet hat on thing, and as soon as she realizes that it was not what she was expecting, she says, "Oh my, I'm sorry for yelling. I thought you were my son."
Who's your son?
Kind of looks at you for a second. She says, um, "Little Falcon. I don't know where he is. His pa went out looking for him. Little rascal keeps getting in trouble, exploring all around. He set out sometime before we even got up. Lord only knows where he's been, where he's gone."
Shae, this is your moment.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay. How long was he? Was your son gone?
She says, "He left sometime before sunup."
Oh. Well, maybe we can help. Do you have any idea where he might have wanted to go? Did he mention anything?
No, he didn't. He didn't tell me he was leaving. He snuck out and is gone.
Yeah.
He's only 9 years old. I just hope he hasn't gone near the woods again. That's where his pa
Oh.
went to go look for him.
The Briarwood?
Well, yeah, I don't mind if he plays near any of the other trees. Doesn't need to be getting near those thorns, though. Sometimes he plays in the fields, comes back all manner of dirty. Or he plays by the shore, comes back drenched in water. That little boy is going to get himself hurt.
With your permission, kind lady, we would be happy to search your fields and see if we could find him, and if not, we'd be happy to wander south to the Briarwood and aid your husband in his search.
You hear a baby start crying from the other room, and she looks back and she kind of sighs and she says, "Well, I certainly would appreciate if you see him to tell him to come home, and feel free to tell him whatever he wants or you want, but he is in for a switching."
Consider it done, my lady.
We're in, guys. Let's go.
And she closes the door, and you kind of hear her walk back to the back room, and after a little while, the baby stops crying.
All right, so we have permission to search the fields. Let's go see if we can find some space rocks, dragon poop, and if not, we've got an actual reason to go south into the wood.
Look at us being heroes.
Just saying.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I'll just scratch my head a bit and walk towards the fields. Are there multiple fields?
No, it's just one kind of biggish field. I mean, you can see the other end of it. You actually see that there's a scarecrow-looking thing, kind of near one side. No, it's not a terribly large amount of space, but you can see how a relatively small family would be able to take care of it, but also be, having to work fairly hard to maintain it, especially if they use the food, some of it to sell to other people, and all that.
Right. Yeah.
No obvious gaping craters, though.
You don't see anything to that effect, no.
No. Let's start walking.
We should fan out.
Let's stay close.
Well, not like super far. I mean, like 5 feet,
Right.
6 feet.
Yeah. No, I'm
That
down
way.
with that.
Yeah, fan out.
You see that the field is various different plants. There's kind of the lettuce and cabbage and all that. There's some tomato plants, that kind of thing, and then
The boy's name was Falcon.
Falcon, yeah.
So just to keep up the appearance, every once in a while I'll call, Falcon! Falcon, are you here? And keep looking for rock holes.
I'd like to take the search in a more magical direction and just kind of feel around, I guess. See if there may be... I was thinking maybe the rock was some sort of magical, and maybe I can find traces of that, the field traces of that.
Ooh.
Beep, beep, beep,
You're giving me an idea, Shae.
beep.
Yeah. So I'm going to cast Detect Magic while we're walking. It'll last 10 minutes and searches within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
So while we're walking, I'll be detecting. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep.
Magic folk.
There is a faint hint of magic from the northeast corner of the field.
I'm getting a tingle, guys.
Ooh.
I think I've got a clue.
I knew we could do it.
Yeah, no. Follow me over here. I'll head towards the beep, towards the blip on the radar.
It's just following its clue. Okay.
You get to the point and you can't really pinpoint. There's a dot of magic here. It's not like if you were to see a magical rain while doing this or something where it would glow. But
It's a faint blip.
yeah, you just kind of something. But you don't really see. I mean, there's just some dirt and some grass patches and whatnot. You're kind of at the edge of the field, so not quite in the growing area, but not quite towards the road.
And when we walk over there, nothing.
Give me perception checks. Or investigate if anyone's getting Grim could use investigate if he's kind of getting down and trying to look over anything, especially with magic on.
My perception would be a nope.
It's a 17 for me.
Got a 6.
I got a 16.
All right. Shae and Phen, you see that there's a little bit of disturbance in kind of the dirt nearby, and you actually notice that it looks like there's maybe like a wooden plank or something, kind of partly buried in the dirt and the grass. Right over here.
It's a trapdoor!
And actually, the more you look at it, the more you think it might actually be. You can see a little bit of where, kind of at the edge, maybe a hand or a finger has peeled up at the corner of something.
Ooh.
I bet the kid's in there. We better go look.
All right. You want to go first? You see
Yeah,
those.
Let me look for some traps, though. Make sure it's not trapped.
Is that a thing? Do people trap doors here?
I don't know. Maybe.
Wow.
This might actually be the first time that a roguish character in my D&D group voluntarily looked for traps without.
As opposed to just being pushed forward.
You have one job.
Find the bomb.
Bard does it
Found
all the
it.
time.
Well, I rolled a 12 there.
What were you rolling? Just to spot traps, so perception.
Yep.
You don't think there are traps, no.
Oh, good. I'll open the door.
You trigger the trap? No. You pry up at it, and it's actually like more than one plank. It's like a like the hatch that you would put on like a well or something, right? And it's got like a coating of dirt and grass on it, but when you move it aside, there's a reasonably circular hole in the ground. Going to be a bit of a tight fit for Shae or Grim, not for Phen. But it goes down a little ways, and then maybe about 4 feet down, it turns. You can kind of see. You don't see any light down there, but any of you who have dark vision can see that it looks like a little tunnel goes to the north.
Like, is the tunnel, are the other two able to stand up in it? Am I able to stand up in it?
No, you'd have to crawl.
I'd have to crawl, and they would struggle to fit
They
at all?
wouldn't fit. No.
Okay. I'm going to stick my head up and kind of get down there and make it so that I can crawl a little bit.
Do you
And
have
then
dark vision? I don't think
I do not,
I don't think I have.
but I have torches.
Okay.
I'm going to hand...
You leave the torch in front of you, and you just all of a sudden you hear the screaming of a child. And then you just back out. All right, no, he's not here. We're good.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to hand one end of my rope to Grim and say, I'm going in. And light a torch and kind of shimmy my way down.
Where's the other end of this rope?
Is going to be in my other hand. So torch in one hand, rope in the other.
Okay. You climb down. There's a couple little like handholds as you go down. Just for probably ease of getting out more than getting in. Or for putting the lid back on. And as you crawl through the tunnel, the tunnel's only like a few feet. And you do see that there's some rock and whatnot in it. And a couple like roots and things poking through here and there. And it opens up into a small kind of like just kind of domed space. Where like maybe it was dug out from the top and the dirt was carried out, but the bottom is also kind of bold. So it's almost like a not quite a sphere, but a little like semi-spherical igloo inside. And when you get in, you see that there's a blanket and well, first of all, there's no sign of a person, but there's a little blanket and some straw. There's a couple what look like little shelves carved into the dirt, and there's little trinkets on there like neat stones. There's a little like we would call it like an action figure, but it's a little like wooden carving guy. There's a whistle. There's a couple pieces of wood set down around that have various things on them. One has there's a couple candles that are like way down, or fat little candles that have been used a pretty decent amount, you would say. So it looks like this is a kid's little hidey hole.
Okay. Am I able to stand up in here? Would they be able to stand up?
No, they would not be able to stand up in here.
Okay.
You see any rocks?
Well, I look down at the floor. Does it just look like a big old boulder?
No, the floor is just dirt.
Just dirt.
Just kind of like a slightly bold. Like the center is lower, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, there are rocks and stuff on the shelves. He's got different rocks. Some that are neat shapes. Some that are. It looks like one that he was maybe using to try to It looks like he ground a bit of metal on one, so it looks like he's kind of like making a knife or something.
Are like how many are there? Half dozen?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll scoop those up, throw them in my pouch, and then
Robbing
You're
children,
rolling.
la la la.
yeah.
Right? Heroes, ladies and gentlemen. Heroes.
Hey, missing child. We're searching for clues and magic rocks.
Yeah.
It's easier than stealing candy from a baby.
I will. I'll also like look around. Like, are these candles like are they super covered in dust or dirt or?
No. This has probably been used pretty recently.
Okay.
And there's actually like a smoky smell in here because you did not do a great job of ventilating it.
Okay. All right. And then I'll on the way in the little rocks there. Like, do they just like look like rocks or?
I'm sorry, say that again? I don't think I heard you. Right.
The rocks that were on the ground when I came in.
No, those don't look like anything. The ones on the shelf, are like some are neat shapes.
Sure. Maybe one's a pretty color or something.
Yeah, or they're like modeled and nice. One is really shiny, looks like a metal, almost like silver, or kind of like that pyrite kind of.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of like cubic, right? It's got all these little cubic pieces coming in and out of it. And that was actually on like a nice like little shelf. Like that's probably one of his like that and like the knife that he's making and a couple other things are like his treasures.
Okay. So I'll go back. I mean, I'll do a quick like search around the room.
You find his +1 rapier,
Yeah, I do.
Hey, and a 9-year-old's rapier should be perfectly sized for you.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll just do a real quick search. I mean, there's not a whole lot of places to hide stuff.
There's not. No, you pretty much have it.
I'll look for any like soft spots in the dirt on the walls, where he might have hid one of his things that he just remembers where it's at.
You see where it looks like maybe he started to dig out more shelves or like another cubby, and just hasn't gotten very far.
Okay. Yeah, I was just looking for dirt that wouldn't be packed into the wall hard.
Well, you don't see anything to that effect.
Yep. Then I'll go back out and pull the rocks out and show him what I got.
Okay, so in the daylight, now that everything's not weird and reddish and brown, one of the rocks is like kind of got like an agate appearance to it. Another has cool stripes. Another's kind of
And
like
are
purple and red.
any of them pinging off of the end of my detect magic spell?
The shiny one with the cubes is glowing to you.
Oh, there it is, right there. That's the one. Oh yeah. Ooh, baby.
Yeah, you got a raging clue for that one.
This
Honestly, guys, I've only used this spell a couple times, and really it was in practice back at the temple. This is the first time I've actually seen this shit in the wild. I gotta say, this feels pretty good.
This rock is about the size of a D20.
A big D20?
No. Your normal D20 that
Like
comes
a
in a set of 7.
6-carat D20.
Well,
But
we
it's
know
very
we've got
shiny. Like what mithril, like how mithril is shiny.
Interesting.
So, and then I'll tell him what I saw down there at the kid's room. So it's his little hidey hole.
You should put everything but the shining rock back.
Yeah, he's gonna be really upset, or she, I guess, is gonna be super upset when they come back here and see that their rock is gone. So,
Well, should we not tell the parents that we found this place?
I mean,
I think it's more important that we find the kid, but at least put everything but the special rock back.
yeah, that's a good idea. We'll put those back. This one you said is shiny and magical.
I said yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm asking.
I was gonna say,
Grim,
I think
like,
you're asking.
Oh yeah, no, that's about as shiny and magical as I've seen in my lifetime.
so okay.
I can't tell what it is.
No, but the spell gives you like a glimpse at the aura. It's I don't know how that actually applies to objects that don't necessarily have a bit. So it just glows magical. It doesn't. It's not like Stone of Necromancy or anything like that.
The only thing Detect Magic can tell me, the most detail, is what school of magic it is,
Right,
if any.
exactly.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, if it's magic, it could hurt the kid.
It could hurt us, for that matter.
So I better keep it in your pocket.
Infinity Stones are nothing to fuck around with.
I don't think.
I'll
Grim
pocket it.
like-
Actually, Shae, is there any way you can tell what this is?
I doubt it. I mean, I guess I can try.
You do know a lot about gems, and some about ore. Obviously, like gold, silver, platinum, mithril, and adamantine would have been things that maybe not so much adamantine, but with many things that maybe came up here and there. But
That's not this.
this doesn't really look familiar to you. It does look shiny like mithril, though.
How about we just pocket it and show it to the dwarf smith? And,
There's a good
see.
idea. I bet he's even up right now. We still
Yeah,
gotta find that kid, though.
I'm gonna close the hatch and kind of scruff the ground up. Say, look, guys. For now, we shouldn't tell anybody what we found. We don't know what's involved with this. So until we know more, or until we can get back to the smith or find the Fey Queen, whoever she is, this really should stay kind of between us, I think. I don't think we want to go around shouting even to the parents that we found a magic rock in a hidey hole.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, probably wise.
Right. Okay, so should we stop by the house, tell her boy's not in the field, we're going to head south and see if we can help Dad find him?
We should check the beach, too. It's not terribly far.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
So, off to the beach.
When you reach the
I just had a vision of all of us in, Bermuda shorts and tank tops with surfboards.
Nice.
when you reach
Especially a
the-
little halfling one.
with a giant sunbrim hat or straw hat.
Yes.
But it's all like freeze
ridiculously
frozen.
oversized.
It's all freeze frames. Like, yeah. So when you reach the water, you see that there are. It does look like maybe some children were playing here. Probably little boys. Fighting with sticks. There's a couple sticks stuck in the sand. There's play sword fighting or playing knights or whatever it happened to be. But you don't really see. You do have a good view of not the harbor, but just past the harbor, and then kind of out towards Durnhost from here. And then there's some rocky outcrops and whatnot, and swells in the ground that kind of prohibit any good view from this spot down here. You imagine that depending on the tide or general season of where the water from various rivers would cause the lake to rise or fall, and snow melts and all that, you think that the water actually cuts back another 10 feet of the beach.
Hmm. Oh,
Well, he's
look
not
present.
here. So,
Yeah.
guess we'll go tell Mom.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, maybe Dad found him already. If we get back to the house, they might already be there.
It's true.
And, yeah, that would be nice.
All right. Back to the house. And knock, knock, knock.
Okay. The woman answers the door, and she's got a baby in her arms. This time she's kind of like rocking it and trying to get it to go to sleep. Probably having just been fed. She says, "Did you find anything?"
No, we even checked the beach too, and he's not there. So
Well,
we're gonna
that
go
boy
down
went into the woods. I am going to tan his hide.
well,
We'll do
We're
our
gonna
best
go
to
down.
bring him back alive so that you can.
At the
we
mention
don't-
of him potentially not being alive, you can see that she kind of shrinks a little bit and gets worried. As
I'm
opposed
sure
to,
Grim
he's
instantly realizes that he does not understand how to talk to people very well.
I'm sure he's fine. Don't worry. He's probably already with his dad.
or he's messing around at the graveyard. Have you seen that big like feathered thing or winged thing in there? That's neat. Do you know what that is?
and now, of course, you're talking about the graveyard to the woman who is now afraid that her son's going to die. She says that it's a statue of Narissa,
Narissa,
the shepherd.
the shepherd. That's neat. Don't worry,
I don't want to think about that right now.
she ain't gonna shepherd your boy. We're gonna find him. He'll be okay.
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll go look for him right now.
I'm
Yeah.
sure none of those nasty ogres got him.
Shush.
Shit,
She
sorry.
says,
I'll
think
just be over here.
Marcus will be back soon to either with our boy or tell me any news.
He'll
Yeah.
have him. It'll be good. We're probably gonna run into him on the road. Or he's got to climb that big tree in the middle of town. He might have done that. I want to do that. Do you know what's up there? I want to know what's up there.
He went up inside the door. And now he's the Squirrel King. Alright, so you head back down the road to the south, presumably.
Yeah.
Are you heading straight towards the Briarwood, or are you making any stops?
I feel like we should try to find that boy.
Yeah.
You're kind of making
Prob-
double time as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Maybe not
Yeah.
running, but traveling pretty quick. When you get down past the Brass and Barley, you see a man sitting in the dirt and another man standing over him. They seem to be having a rather animated conversation. And the one on the ground seems very agitated, and the other one seems to be trying to like calm him down. The one calming him down you recognize as Jaros, the constable you met yesterday and who Roken spoke about. So he's wearing his little duster coat and got his nice little hat on.
Sheriff's badge.
Probably, but you can't see that. And you know his wands of office.
We know who he is, though.
You recognize him as a constable the other day, and then he was given a name that night.
We'll just
You
kind
don't
of
think?
nod in acknowledgement as we walk by, without drawing attention to ourselves.
No. What if he's comforting the father?
Oh, yeah. Maybe we should ask him if he knows there's a missing boy.
Yeah.
So you go over to him, and it does sound like the man on the ground is worried about something. He's out of breath, and as you approach, you actually see that he's been bloodied by something. It looks like he got attacked or had an accident or something to that effect.
Ooh.
And the constable is trying to say, he'll be all right. There's no point in you going to get yourself killed. We'll find something, kind of give him that. And as you approach, he looks up. Okay, the man on the ground is saying something. He looks rather hysterical, and he's holding his arm. The other man, the constable says, he looks up at you guys and says, "Didn't you all happen to see a young boy about 8 or 9? Well, he knows the age, so 9 years old.
Are we
On the road anywhere?"
Are we looking for the boy Falcon from the Vaughn Farm?
And the man on the ground says, Falcon, do you know of my boy? Do you know where he is?
No, sir, but we met your wife this morning, and we are looking for him. Do you know anything?
I went to the edge of the woods to find him. He left sometime in the middle of the night or this morning before I even got up. As soon as I saw he was gone, I looked around when he didn't come for a while, and he didn't come to breakfast. I immediately rode out to see if he was down here. If he had gone anywhere north, he would have been fine, but down south here, I was worried. And he's kind of gone into the woods a few times, so we've always gotten him, or someone has seen him and yelled at him and gotten him to come back. This time I went in, and my horse and I were attacked by wolves, and I was thrown, and they chased and cut down my horse, and I barely got out.
So as he's relaying this story and obviously frantic, I want to approach him and gently kneel in front of him. I'm going to whisper a real short prayer to Valrier and give him a little healing hands action for 3 hit points, just to kind of ease a bit of his pain and let him know that we're friendly.
This is your channel divinity?
It's actually just a healing hands that I get from a racial trait.
Oh, right, okay. I forgot about that.
And so after I do that, I'm just going to try to, kind of give him a squeeze on the shoulder as reassurance and just a slight bit of healing and tell him, rest, my friend. Search here, search the tree, ask among friends. We will enter the Briarwood, and if your boy is there, we will bring him home. Fear not, for we have the mighty Shae, a hero who will vanquish our enemies.
Yeah, we got this.
Hmm?
Do I need to roll for deception?
No.
No, we're just trying to promote the brand, Shae. It's cool.
But if you want to do a performance check for some Bonnie Tyler, I'd be more than happy to.
I'm gonna hit you wrong.
Wow, invoking the Bonnie Tyler. Look at that.
Well, I rolled a 1, so... Just,
You just strike a terrible pose.
yeah.
This is fine.
It's somewhere
Everything
between
is
duck lips and, hands on hips Superman.
Yes.
Oh and
my
the constable will
gosh.
say, just be careful, I don't want more missing people. Not like the military gives rat's ass if anyone goes missing. Can't even get them to so much as put a search party together for this boy. Now his father's all torn up.
We'll find him.
You take care of him, good sir. Let us handle the danger.
Did that sound convincing?
Yeah. We'll take care of the boy.
I'm picturing
Shae the
Shae
assassin.
with that same voice and creeping everybody out.
But her face is folding in that way that the Grinch's face just keeps folding and curly cueing in on itself.
The more she tries to smile reassuringly, the more menacing she looks.
Yeah. We'll take care of the boy. Evil.
Licks her lips.
Yeah.
Alright, that's where we'll take our first break.
And then she ate them and made a fort from their bones.
Thanks, Pat Rothfuss.
To the woods.
And before we get there, can you guys see in the dark?
No.
Shae?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll need torches.
I have 9, so.
Well, and I can do some magical action so that we're not actually, bringing fire into a briar.
You can't see in the dark?
Well, I can just fine, but in fact, let's do this. When we get there, so Phen, hand me one of your torches, would you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to touch it and light it up
Okay.
and hand it back.
Oh, I can do
Okay.
that. Eldritch Blast.
No fire. No fire in the Briarwood. We don't want to burn the kid out.
So you cast light on the end of his.
I cast light on his torch.
Yeah. Okay.
Could you do it on my sword instead?
Oh, sure. You prefer the sword?
Yeah, because then my sword will glow.
Okay, so I'll cancel the light on that one, and I'll cast it on the sword. It's a cantrip. I can do this all day long.
Yes.
Would be very useful to help you find clues as well.
Yeah.
That's not going to go away anytime soon.
No, it's
We're
not.
going to go run this thing into the ground.
But if this clue lasts for 4
Just like
hours,
my
we
game.
should call a healer.
Yeah.
All right. The Briarwood lies before you. The father,
Okay.
Marcus, told you that he went further south down the road, thinking that maybe hoping his son, rather than just kind of like wandering into the woods, had maybe tried to kind of see what was down there, or gone just kind of into kind of the shallower bits closer to the southern road on the way to Durnhost. And says that when he kind of poked into the woods, he was attacked by the wolves.
Could I look and see if there's any evidence of child passage? Look for footprints, look for anything?
Give me a survival
Go
check.
survival? That's what I figured. Here we go. Oh, shit.
No.
So I'm gonna stop rolling the blue die, because it hasn't rolled over a 3 yet. Yeah, that was... I don't see shit.
Well, if it's a... The kid was what, 9 years old?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is. Let's be optimistic about this. The kid is 9 years old.
Yep.
He probably would have just, if he decided to go into the woods, to just go straight into the woods, right?
Well, after what we already found, I'm thinking this kid has a place in the woods that he goes to regularly.
Yeah.
He's probably got another hideout in there somewhere, treehouse or another hole or a cave or just a patch in the woods that he goes to that's kind of his place. So I think that's where we need to look.
That's not a bad idea.
Well,
Ooh. Now locate object.
A kid is not an object. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking for the wording.
You would have had to have known
See.
something he was carrying with him.
Well, and it says it's an object known to me, so never mind. Here, I thought I had an easy out. Sometimes magic isn't the answer, guys. I'm sorry.
most of the
Yes.
time, magic isn't the answer, guys.
You're probably right.
Magic's fucking scary.
It's yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Let's look for.
No,
I'm
actually,
looking-
Grim under his breath says, "You have no idea."
I'm going to. I want to look for a spot that is relatively easy to enter the forest in, without having to go through thorn brushes and all that.
Yeah.
Right,
so
9-year-old.
The first few quote unquote layers, or the first little depth of it is kind of just like normal trees, and then you start to see like the roots and the heavy thorns kind of like reaching out, and then they start to group up on trees and bushes and whatnot, and then deep in you can see where maybe it starts to get pretty tight.
I just had a weird vision of being surrounded by dinosaurs intent on eating me and having this kid come out of nowhere and save my life with smoke bombs.
Not gonna be what happens.
There are no
Yeah.
velociraptors in the Briarwood. Sorry, Jay. It's another book I read.
Velociraptors would be destroyed by what's in the Briarwood. I mean, you're good. You're fine. Be-
So he didn't enter the forest here because this doesn't look like a spot where it's easy to enter. So let's go.
No, sorry, I was
hold
trying
on.
to say the opposite. You could just walk into like the woods, and then as you go in, it would get more dense and more dense.
Well, I was going to say, it should be a place where Phen could enter easily because he's closer to the size of a 9-year-old than we are.
Fair.
Do you want me to go in there?
Yes.
Well, not without us. I mean, don't get too far ahead.
Okay.
One thing the priest made very clear is you should never split the party, kid. Ever.
Yeah.
Scream
No.
if something starts chewing on you.
Okay. I will die loud.
But
I
like
laugh.
2 short screams.
Yeah.
2 short screams mean danger.
3
One long scream is like excitement.
Ah, I'm so excited!
I've never seen one of these before. This feels so weird, guys.
It's chewing on me. It's so neat. The teeth are so huge.
The best adventure ever.
All right. Phen is going to take to the shadows. But the 12.
Phen believes himself to be hidden,
Sure
darting
does.
from tree to tree, rolling under bushes.
Note the
right across
DM's
the
choice
vines.
of words. Phen believes himself to be hidden.
Well, remember, I did tell you guys from now on, for real things, I'm gonna make your stealth checks for you
Oh, that's right.
because that's funny to me. Plus, we'll only do it for I want to test it and see how it works, and we'll see how it goes from there.
I really like the idea. It
It is not mine. I think I got it from Matt Colville.
It's still pretty. Well, Colville's got good ideas.
So, yeah, I'm going to slowly move forward and try to do it quiet and all that jazz.
I'm
So-
going to take up the rear so that I can react to things that happen to people in front of me and heal and attack as necessary.
The trees don't get denser by a lot as you enter, but the roots and the overgrowth and bushes and whatnot, especially these larger roots that have kind of these little thorns on them, those seem to be coming. And you travel through part of the wood, through what looked like almost like a more of a tunnel, kind of carved into the denser part of the wood. This is more where it's close to encroaching, but it doesn't take long before you're pretty much up on brambles where you're going to have to actually kind of like step over some things here and there, cut back and forth where 10 feet in front of you you're going to have to turn, so you guys have to stay pretty close together or you would lose sight of each other. It's not a few times that Phen disappears from you guys completely while you make a couple of arrangements. You have to duck under some stuff here and there, always being careful to make sure the thorns don't snag you or your packs.
And Grim wants to call out for Falcon, but decides it's probably not smart.
Yeah.
Phen,
Can you
give me-
keep the light on my sword while it's sheathed?
I could light the pommel.
Well, I'm wanting... No. I mean, is it too dark to see right now?
No.
Okay.
But it
Well,
is
we'll save the light
in
for when you
places.
need it then.
Yeah.
So, the
Like, keep it on there, sheath it. It'll last for an hour, unless I cast something else. So
Okay.
at first when you enter the woods, you really felt like, okay, this isn't getting dense too fast, but now it's getting dense pretty quickly. You're surprised by how quickly you kind of got into little brambles, but you're still kind of where you can look out and maybe there's a little bit of a tangle here or like a pretzel of vines here, but there's some space and whatnot. You're not in an area where everything is just dense thorns, but they definitely hang thick like vines and trees. Give me a survival check, Phen.
21.
Okay. You think it would be pretty hard to follow anyone through this if this got thicker? Short of if like clothing or something got torn on the edge of a thorn, Um, you know what I mean? So like, oh, clearly they passed this way because here's a piece of his red shirt or something like that. But you haven't really seen anything resembling footprints, and obviously a small boy could have entered the woods at kind of any point along here, and you could be off by just X amount, and it wouldn't be.
So I'm thinking that even if he is in here, I would have had to know exactly where he is.
Maybe, or at least you can see where he could be, like 100 feet away, and if you just weren't quite in the right spot, you wouldn't necessarily see him. Because you guys aren't yelling for him or anything like that, right?
Right.
What you do see is a light in the distance, maybe 40, 45 feet away, kind of bob behind some of the brambles, and then it kind of dips and then passes back up, and then you see it kind of behind another tree, kind of moving along the southern, like the south. Kind of away from you.
Okay. I'll point it out and then stop moving slowly and start trying to hustle towards it.
Okay, so you want to follow it quick?
Not like at a full run, but like I'm not going to try to do it quietly.
Okay.
Like I'm not going to focus on being quiet. I'm going to walk at a normal pace while like not tromping through, but not exactly like silent. If I step on a stick, I step on a stick. I'm not stressed about it.
Right. The as you start to get kind of closer, you see this light kind of dip around some thorns, and you hear the crunching of sticks under your feet, at which the sound kind of it's like a big crack, so it kind of echoes a little bit, and because it's very still out here, like there's not even like really a lot of birds, all that it seems to kind of be choked off by the thorns as well. The light seems to be moving faster now, kind of going in almost as if whatever's carrying it is really running and jumping over whatever items are in the way.
Should we chase it, guys?
I'm gonna call out Falcon's name. Not like super loud, but loud enough that I think something running away would hear it. Just to see, I mean, if it's him, maybe he'll stop at hearing his name.
Okay.
If it's not, maybe we want it to run away.
The light disappears. And you can't find it anywhere as you kind of look for it. You like pass behind a tree and it's gone.
Hmm.
And when you kind of get to where you think that generally was, you don't see anything.
I'll call the name one more time.
12 lights of no.
A little bit louder, but still, I'm hesitant to like scream the name. I know I'm probably calling something evil in, but if it's the boy, we need to get him and secure him as quick as possible.
Yeah.
There's no response from a boy or anything.
You guys don't see anything at all?
Perception
Apparently
checks.
no. Oh.
If you're in question, yeah, might as well, right?
Yay! Oh, I like the white die a lot better. 21.
5.
Balance. We're maintaining balance.
Phen is like, what was that? Looking at the thing that he cracked. Like, does Shae want to roll or?
Shae wants
I
to
got
roll.
4. I
No.
got 4.
She's
I was
looking
gonna
at
do
Phen,
this.
who's looking at the ground.
What's that?
I walk into a tree.
Fuck my eye.
Grim, you hear a low. You're not really sure what it is at first, but it almost sounds like a low rumble.
I'm going to pull out my Morning Star. And as the chain drops to its full length, just a couple of small sparks fall off of it to the ground.
You
Did
hear
you guys
anything? You see anything?
I heard something, and it did not sound good. Get ready.
I'm gonna pull my sword.
Is it still lit up?
Probably.
I'll kill light. It's done.
But then he can't see.
No, it's dim light in here. It's not.
Oh.
It's
Not
like
dark,
when you're
dark.
in woods that are like during the day, but they're like pretty deep, so it's all dappled light with heavy canopy.
And at this point, I would rather cast light on a tree than on the halfling and make him a target.
Fair.
I
Yeah.
think you are controlled by the size of what something can be, but I don't know what.
I'm going to use a bonus action to dip into the shadows.
Yeah,
Hey.
you're not in combat or anything, so you can just try to hide. All right.
So
let me.
That's going to freak me out a little bit. I'll be like, Phen?
see here.
Shit. What happened?
Your stealth bonus is 8, right?
Yes.
Okay. You kind of dip into a shadow and some like brush and all that.
I pull out my shield.
Now, the rumbling is distinctively heavier, and you hear like a creak and something like the shattering of like a thick branch. You finally hear like the call of like crows scattering.
Shae, get behind a tree.
We should go. We should go.
Shit. I can't hide. And I'm not terribly quick.
Let's just run. Let's go. Let's go.
Where's Phen?
I don't
fine.
know.
Shh, I'm fine.
All right. Shae, out. Behind me. Both of you go.
You're running away.
We are, yes, disengaging, running away, retreating.
Okay.
I will take up the rear as we do so.
As they start to move back behind you, the noise is like a thunderous booming through the foliage, and you see just this massive shape burst through some underbrush, just like throwing a log aside, like a log splinters open.
There it is.
And it's Falcon.
Falcon? You're a big-ass 9-year-old. Your poor mother.
You see this frothing-faced boar charging at you, but very large. Roll initiative.
As we roll initiative, I'm going to look over at my friends and say, ogre? Shit.
This is not one of those times you want to say shit.
No, actually, I want to use my inspiration if I can to re-roll that.
I'd allow that.
I'm going to. Okay, that's better. That's not as bad. That's a 15.
Okay.
I have a 17.
It's better than a 3.
I got 18.
Nice. Wait, I'm sorry. It was 15 for Grim, 17 for
Phen.
Phen, yeah. And then 18 for Shae. None of you go first.
Shit.
Yeah. Let's stress test this motherfucker. For all those listening, check out Monster Monday from the 11th of March, 2018.
On the Hunters of Near Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know any of that information. I'll put it in the linky in the thing. I'm really bad at Twitter. Obviously,
That's what editing is for.
look at the picture, not the stat block, preferably. Stat block available from Monster Monday, issue 21.
Stat block? I don't understand. What is this stat block you speak of?
I wouldn't read anything. I would just look at the picture. My beautiful, beautiful arts.
Hey! Ooh, it's got some teeths. Briar tusk, of course.
It's got some shit going on.
God,
Sounds
so for a fucking pig, there's a lot of goddamn text on this page.
Yeah, don't worry about that. It's not important.
Don't worry about that.
I mean, I'm not going to get into detail and read it because we don't have time until this thing tries to eat me, but...
I tend to overload these with fluff and other such things.
So on first glance, I see that this is a formidable pig.
It's a big pig. You could be a big pig too. Hooey!
Oi!
Oi!
I would like to say that that's a nice picture.
Thank you. It took me way less time than I thought it was going to, and way more time than it would if I were a talented artist. But yeah, no, it's a combo of two pictures that I thought actually blended really nicely together. I was very happy with how that came out.
Wait.
I am in the wrong spot now. Did I close the
It's
other
nice to know that we now have a picture of what's about to gut us.
Oh, I'm about to gut one of you. Maybe.
Well, we're all standing more or less in a row, right?
No, you
Aren't
guys
we?
ran away, so you're like 10, 15 feet behind him.
Oh, thank God that he's going for the cleric.
Unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. No, you guys get clear. I'll handle this.
Oh my
It's
God.
always nice when the healer is also the tank.
Because when I closed Photoshop, I also closed the only text I had open about what this thing's stats are. Because this is a completely homebrew creature. Oh shit. What was that?
I'm sorry, my mic fell.
He's like, oh shit, I don't know what it can do. I can't check. So, this is a
Shae,
briar
are you
tusk,
okay?
a large beast, with the face and head of a massive, angry, tusked boar. A thick mane of bristly fur down its back, like a razorback boar, which didn't come out in the picture very much. And then you guys haven't really gotten a great look at it yet, but it's got the body of what is basically like a saber-toothed cat, like a big fucking cat, like lion predator thing, rather than like the hooves and weird shaped body of a boar. But it's still like all muscle up front and then just big legs, but it runs like a cat. It leaps like a cat. So it's like actually coming at you from like angles rather than just like straight squealy charge. But it is making squealing sounds, and it is awful. And
Clever girl.
it charges straight at Grim.
Woohoo!
So it has moved at least 20 feet. Alright, it does not have surprise. Thank fuck for you. It is going to run.
Thank fuck and Valkyrie.
Okay, so it's going to charge into you, and it's going to make a tusk attack.
Who's he going to charge?
Grim.
Wow.
It's going to hit Grim with a 21.
That is enough.
Alright. So, because it's charging and it moved a significant amount of distance, it is basically just going to double its attack damage. Yeah.
Just why not?
So here, this is me rolling my 4d6. And adding an amount. You take 13 damage.
Okay.
It continues to charge past you an additional 10 feet. So now it's like right in the midst of the other two of you.
Do I get an opportunity attack?
No.
Oh.
I should have. I did not think to include that in the text. That should have been in there. So even if it moves its full movement, if it charges through you, if the target is a creature, it gets to continue its charge beyond. That's instead of knocking you prone. So it just makes it a little bit more hit and runny.
Basically runs past and puts a gash in my leg.
Yeah, it just hits you and then continues on.
For half my hit points.
Yeah, no, he hits hard.
Motherfuck bitch.
There's a reason there's only one. Playtest at the table.
He's gonna have to die now.
Shae.
Really? We wanted to die?
We're gonna eat this motherfucker.
It looked angry.
We're taking this back to the inn and saying cook up steak.
I wonder what pissed it off.
I think it was me.
Yeah, has
Still
to be.
don't know where that light came from, though.
Apparently the name Falcon is like an offensive term in
pigs.
Boar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did not come from the direction the light came from. This guy came from the east, from deeper in the woods. And getting a look at what it's made out of, you're pretty sure this thing could just charge through the entire Briarwood and not be stopped.
No.
This is a big bunch of beast. For those of you familiar with past D&D sessions, this is essentially like the looks and size of like a dire boar on top of the looks and size of like what would be like a dire tiger or dire lion. I really like that picture. The more I look at it, the more it just I really feel like I nailed how the two parts come together because they were done separately. Go ahead. Someone,
I'm going to use a bonus action to hex it.
Okay.
And I have to choose an ability, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Which I guess doesn't really matter here. But I'll choose... I think I'll go with Wisdom.
It was not going to make any wisdom checks before anyway, but yeah, now it's royally fucked.
No.
I thought about giving it like the super senses, like the super sensitive smell of a boar, or like the super senses of a cat. I was like, nah, too angry. It gets nothing.
And then I'm going to reach into a shadow near me and pull out a glaive.
Sexy.
Incredibly so.
You pull it out of Phen.
Where'd that come from?
It actually is Phen, but with a giant glaive blade on his head.
Swiss Army
Just
Phen.
holding my sword out.
Swiss Army Phen.
And
That's what we need. We need like a Warforged style race that's small that other characters use for stuff. It's like they
that would be cool.
kind of hitch your legs together and then pull them apart and you act like scissors with like your teeth.
Pick you up by both arms and drop both feet down quickly, and we can pour beer out of your head.
I also would like to use my movement to get behind it, and then
You
be
are
as far
within
away.
5 feet of it.
Oh,
It charged
Okay.
right between the two of you. And that's why
Oh,
it has
boy.
the extra movement, so it can continue to get through people, or it can get away.
okay.
So you would have to disengage in order to get away.
I already used an action, so no.
What was your action?
Pulling out the weapon.
Oh, is that an action for you? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess because it's not a normal draw.
Yeah.
Okay. Done?
Yes.
Phen?
Phen will.
Pennsylvania.
So what does dash do?
Dash allows you to use an action to take another full move.
Okay. So Phen
Or
will.
just a full move. You don't have to move.
Right.
Yeah.
So Phen will attempt to, like jump on him and not like on him, but coming down on him with his sword.
Okay. I was going to say, because if you move away from him as well, you also get the opportunity attack. But you can occupy his space. So there's that during your movement.
So I'm gonna move. Yeah, I'm just gonna basically take a jump forward and hacking swing down on top of him.
Do you want to like run between his legs and switch sides as you go, or are you just going to kind of like attack him normally and then get back to your spot, like the JRPG style?
No, I want to get to the other side of him, so when Grim runs up, he'll
You're
be
flanking.
closer to me. Yeah,
Okay.
and to turn his attention away from Shae and onto me.
Okay. I had it in my mind that you guys might be on opposite sides, but however you guys want to set that up is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. This is cool. Go for it.
So, 23 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. And is Shae close enough for me to get my sneak attack damage?
Shae's up on him, yeah.
Yep. So I get my sneak attack damage. That is 7, 11 damage.
Nice.
No, pardon me, 13 damage. I can math. 6 plus 4 plus 3.
Oh, I accidentally wrote down how much damage you did, not how much damage you had left. Sometimes I do that and it fucks me up. You did 13? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
The boar is not bloodied.
And that's my turn. Oh, actually, even better. Sorry. Can I use a bonus action to try to hide now that I'm behind him?
Yeah, what's the... You're allowed
So
to have a
hide
bonus... Yeah, go ahead.
So hide is normally just a regular action.
Yeah, and you have a
But
bonus
a level
action
2, dash, disengage, or hide.
Yeah. The way I'm probably going to treat this is, like, if you're up on something and there's nothing to reasonably hide in, I'm not going to, like... I kind of did this with Bobby had a rogue in a side game we played, where she was able to just literally disappear in the tall grass while fighting an orc, like, right in front of her. I'm not going to allow that kind of stuff, but you might be able to kind of, like, lose some aggro, you know what I mean? Because he's still got Shae and Grim around him.
So, even though as a halfling I can hide if my only... as a lightfoot halfling, pardon me, I only need light obscurement to hide?
You have no obscurement from him.
Okay.
Because you're next to him. There's no facing in 5th edition, I think is the important thing to tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's no
Cool.
behind him, like
Okay.
there has been in previous editions. But certainly, like I said, I would be willing to be like, yeah, you know, your aggro drops a little bit because you're trying to kind of like,
Yeah.
you're up under Shae's skirts, like, I'm not here.
Stab, stab, stab.
He just threw the skirt.
That's right. Hide underneath the wanted person. He's probably going to charge next. That's smart.
You can't. You're too close to charge. He's just gonna gore you.
Oh, yeah, that makes it better.
Oh, for one of the bigger ones, I should have, instead of claws, it should have had maul as its just. Okay. Grim.
So how far am I from them?
Oh, just like 10 feet.
Close.
Yeah. It used most of its movement getting to you, and then charged through you the extra 10 feet.
Damn, so many options. All right, so I am going to damn it. Yeah, I'm going to use a bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon,
Okay.
which will create a mystical duplicate of my Morning Star, dripping with awesome sparks a la Doctor Strange.
Yes.
And it is going to reach out and make an attack on Mr. Boar from about 10 feet away, which is a 17 to hit.
That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
That'll do the pig.
It does 10 magical damage.
The briar tusk is bloodied.
And I believe... Oh, yeah, that's all I can do right now. Shit. Actually, I will use my speed to move within 6 feet of it.
Did you use your attack or your action?
I used my action as an attack, my bonus action to cast the spell.
When did you attack it?
Right after I cast the spell.
You get a free attack with the spell. The spirit weapon is the one that makes the magical weapon just float next to him, right?
Right.
On casting it, you automatically get a free attack. I'm 99% certain.
Okay. Then I will.
Lex would know better than I would maybe on this one, but
Let's see. It doesn't say that, but let's see. I may not have read it right. When you cast the spell, you can make a. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
and I think then after that it's a bonus action to move up to
Well,
10 feet or whatever and attack.
It's a bonus
10
action
feet,
to
yeah.
cast the spell.
Yeah,
And
Yes.
then on my
I don't
next
think it ever
turn,
uses your action.
Right, my next turn is a bonus action I can. So I can use my regular action to attack it again,
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah,
in which case I will.
with your real Morning Star,
That is an 18 to hit,
that'll do.
and that is 8 piercing damage.
You bust into it and it falls to the. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. It staggers and begins to fall to the ground. Kind of like goes down on an. You know how like in like movies or whatever the big cat thing or the wolf like gets knocked to the ground and then it like gets like starts to get up and it's like rawr, right? It's my
Is there any way? I mean, I know I'm completely out of. I might have a little movement left, but I'm out of action. I'm out of bonus action. Is there any way I can keep this thing from moving further by diving on top of it, by my mace digging into it and holding on? I want to keep this thing from going any further away from me and from attacking my friends.
I'd let you try to maybe trip it up a little bit with your chain there.
Okay. Roll?
It's gonna be tough, yeah.
Sure. Okay.
So this thing, you feel like that should have. You think it's alive through pure anger and like willpower and resilience at this point. Like you
Okay.
felt like you should have killed it. You think you broke ribs and lungs and whatnot.
So I rolled a straight 14.
Okay.
If I could even jump on it, I mean, literally just tackle it to land on top of it and try to keep it from moving any further.
I'm gonna call it a grapple, either way.
Okay.
Because it's a big creature. So just add your
Strength bonus?
yeah.
16.
It also rolled a straight 14. Unfortunately, its strength bonus is going to put it higher than you. So it's going to be able to like shrug you off.
So I'm impeding it but not stopping it.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to look up as I'm like attempting this, look up at both my friends and tell them to run. And they will see a spark of light from my eyes as they begin to glow.
Okay. It is unfortunately the Briar Tusk's turn.
Bring it. Hit me, pig.
I mean, this thing is you. It looks like it's about to die, right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, its squealing has picked up and whatnot. Shae and Phen, give me perception checks.
19.
1.
Shae,
Not a
you
net.
don't know where
It's
Grim
not-
went.
It's not a natural one.
Oh.
I just have -1 on perception.
The fun thing there is it'll be possible for you to get a 0 at one point in time.
Yes.
Phen, you see something move in kind of like the tree line nearby, kind of behind this big boar. It is
Like, wait, where it came from?
in that general area. Like, I just meant like you looking over the boar's body. It is another one, like up in like the trees and like on the big roots and whatnot, like on a big trunk, prowling like a panther or like a big cat. Looking like
We got
it's
more.
about to attack.
There's more coming.
This one jumps in and is going to also attack at Grim. This one.
He's being a hero. He's going to just get gutted from behind.
This one's going to. Oh no, because you're on it. So
Remember me.
that's going to go for Phen. Actually, that's going to like leap
I would
off some
prefer it
logs and
went for
jump
me.
at you. Phen, it is going to pounce on you. From pretty far away. And it is going to make a claw attack with its nice big paws. That
Yay,
that
pause.
is not a great roll. That is a 12 to hit. So
Not
you're gonna
enough.
be okay.
Yes.
As it kind of like lands weirdly as the other boar like gets in its way a little bit and it swipes at you. You kind of deflect it with a chirp. But now this other big boar is staring you down, breathing hot boar breath on you. The first boar, the damaged boar, is going to attempt to rake its claws across Shae. It is going to roll well over your AC. Unless you have mage armor. Up. So it's going to roll an 18. Or a total of 18. Which I don't think mage armor would even help you with. Okay, so with its claw, it is going to do 10 damage to you, Shae.
Ouch.
That's not good.
That's
You're
almost
fine.
as much as I got trampled by.
You're fine.
At least you have lots of HP.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So I took a big hit.
Took
One
about
is
30% of your damage. Yeah.
one is almost dead, and the other is on. I'm going to assume that Grim can handle the wounded one. Yeah, that seems fair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to the new boar. I'm going to curse him, which isn't the same as hexing him.
Right.
And I use some bonus actions for that, and I'm going to hit it with my glaive.
Okay.
That is a 13 to hit.
Yeah, you, it's not a great hit, but it's a hit.
That counts. Okay. That is 1d10 plus 4 plus 2. So plus 6. 1d10 6. That's 10 damage.
Solid.
Nice hit.
Alright. Phen.
Phen is going to attack the the one that Shae just hit with his rapier. That'll be a 14.
Now you will not get sneak attack because it has an ally as well. Wait, no. No, that's just for Swashbuckler to negate its. So
Yeah.
you have an ally still, so you're good. Okay. Yeah. You said 18 to hit?
Yeah, 18 to hit.
Magic number is 12 on these guys.
Okay, and that's 16 damage.
That's fucking solid. The boar is very bloodied. Both are looking pretty bad. The other one, the previously wounded one, is looking more manic and like crazy and like bucking and like just wildly like lashing out and all that. This one just looks really wounded. Grim.
Watching all of this unfold, especially this newcomer, Grim can't help but feel sort of an impotent, like completely out of control, overpowered, not only fear but rage. Like suddenly everything is out of his control, and he feels like he's failed not only himself and his god, but his friends. And I am going to ignite Radiant Consumption. So instantly the glow from my eyes starts to spew sparks, begins to engulf my entire body, and the radiance is not only blinding, but anything within 10 feet of me takes 2 damage. And the scream is very Akira-like. Let's see. Is the 2 damage enough to drop Boar that's by me?
Yes.
Okay. And the other one is close?
Oh, yeah.
I will continue screaming, and in my, blinding rage, I also take 1 damage.
And both of your allies also take 2 damage.
Yes, I said run.
I just wanted to make sure that they were counting it as well.
Yep.
My Morning Star is also dripping sparks and glowing, and I'm going to make an attack on the yet living bear boar, which will be a 16 to hit.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, 20 to hit. And it will do 7, 8, 9, plus 3 radiant, 10 radiant damage.
You crush into the side of its face and just, like, drop it in, like, a hissing pile of dying pig.
And I still have a bonus action left.
Wait, how much damage did you do? I'm sorry?
10.
Yes, you drop it.
3 of which was radiant. And as long as they are dead, and I still have bonus action, I will use it to calm my radiant consumption so nobody else keeps taking damage after this turn.
Alright.
And then I'm going to be extremely embarrassed because I never wanted my friends to see this. I'll actually backpedal, like terrified of their reaction.
And your spiritual weapon also backpedals?
Everything vanishes.
Okay.
My concentration is fouled, I'm done. Every spell is finished.
It gets far darker in the woods as the blinding light fades.
Oh, what was that?
That was so cool!
Cool. What are you?
I'm just trimmering, shaking, steaming.
Do it again. That was awesome.
Are you okay?
I really don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
That was so cool.
to harm you. It was I couldn't control it.
Well,
Dude. How'd you do that?
I have no idea.
That's so awesome. We need to find your piece.
I mean, thank you for saving us, but is that like part of your religion? Is this a religious thing?
Don't thank me. It's dangerous. I am dangerous. This is why I grew up in a cell. This is the reason my life is the way it is, and I don't understand it. It's never been explained to me other than I'm some form of aberration that needs to be locked away.
Well, let's figure it out.
I've lived my entire life trying to figure this out. At this point, I almost feel like maybe it would be better for all of us if I were to go my own way.
No. I want to know what this is. This is cool.
Cool?
That was so neat.
When I was 6 years old, this took from me everything that I knew. I had already been dropped by my family. I was in a place where I knew no one. I did not feel safe. And an event just like this took 6 young lives.
I mean, that's terrible, and I'm very sorry about that. But you can't live in the past. You got to figure out what it is. Figure out what it is. You can control
just happened. This is very much the present, my friend. I can't take the chance that I might one day hurt you too.
No, this is amazing. Do you know what this means for you? You're
I'm
somebody
a freak.
special. No,
Special.
You're somebody special. You're meant to do something great in this world. And as soon as you learn how to control that, you're going to do it. And it's going to be hard, and there's going to be pain along the way. But you know what? That's what friends are for. Let's figure this out. Let's teach you how to control it.
I'll be honest, I don't agree with everything that Phen said, but you can't run away from whatever that is.
Yeah. Don't hide it. Own it.
Running away from it's all I've known.
Well,
Yeah.
It's what I was taught.
You wanted to learn something from me today. Own your problems. And I'm going to run over and give him a big old hug. With my little bitty arms.
I'll walk over, and seeing as he doesn't burst into flames again, I'll hug him as well.
Grim is dumbfounded. He really does not know how to react in this situation. It's kind of freaking me out. And in character, I will say out loud, I have never known anyone to react this way to me at all. You all are either amazing people or you're absolutely batshit crazy.
Well, I mean,
Probably
let's not go
both.
labeling it.
Let's be honest here. I think we're better equipped to deal with your peculiar little thing than any other random person. I would like to help you figure this out, get this under control. After all,
No idea what any of this means. I have no idea what I am. But
You're a person.
this is the first time I've really felt any semblance of hope. Nobody's ever spoken to me this way. I've only ever experienced fear from this ability.
Sounds like we need to find us a historian on. I mean, you're human, right? Like,
As far as I know,
well,
we're going to have to figure this out, but
we're gonna have to figure out how to like legend lore something.
look, who's hurt? Let's start there.
You?
Okay, I know I am, but
You put your arm back on. You use the severed arm to like heal other people.
right? I just throw it at him.
Bing, bing, bing.
Lay on hands.
Let's see. Okay, for starters, shit, you guys both look kind of bloodied.
no, I'm
No damage?
I'm okay.
I've only taken 2, so I'm
I'm
fine.
I mean, I can do some healing before we get the fuck out of here, because if we're taking this kind of a beating, I can't imagine a 9-year-old has done any better.
Shae, you're at like
That's true.
17, right?
no, I'm not. I'm at 24
Boom!
How?
because of the curse that I placed on the second boar when it
Oh.
died. I gain
That's right. Okay.
hit points back.
Okay.
Nice.
So I kind of just sucked the life out of him with something, which fortunately nobody noticed apparently. So yeah, no, I'm okay.
Everybody's all right?
Yeah.
All right, then I'm going to fucking cure wounds on myself.
Do it.
And give me back, roll an 8 plus a 3, so 11 back. Oh, that's nice. It's not full health, but it'll do for now. Mark off my spell.
Let's go the
slot.
direction that the light was.
Are you guys sure you want to keep going? Those fucking things almost killed us. Oh, almost killed me anyway. And I almost killed you.
You didn't almost kill me. It got
Sure.
really warm.
It really felt like it.
No, I wasn't bad.
This is very dangerous, but can you imagine being a 9-year-old running around this forest?
Mm.
I
Good
mean,
point.
maybe he's lost. I mean, the best we can do is just keep looking until we can't take it anymore.
All right.
I mean, we told him we were going to do our best, so I think
Look,
we
you
should.
guys, I want to thank you because I have never I've never known. Honestly, you said earlier, Phen, that this is what friends are for. I've never really had friends before.
That's terrible.
I've known people, but either they or I have always kept a distance, just from unease of not knowing what could happen.
Well, I'm glad we're friends.
And honestly, I've never been this open with people ever. So you guys must be something special.
Oh, shucks.
That just makes me want to not kill you more. So let's do this. Could you guys just kind of stay a few feet further away from me for a while until I know this isn't going to rear up again?
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm going to be by your side the whole time.
All right, but okay. Next time I say run, though, maybe just take a few steps back because it's not that strong. I just need a few feet. Just stand back enough that I'm not going to fry your hair.
Okay, we'll see.
All right, 9-year-old and lights. We saw lights.
I bet that light was the 9-year-old, and maybe he thought that me making noise was a monster or something, and so he doused his light, and maybe there's something really special about this kid.
I hadn't considered. Should I try and detect magic again?
Maybe.
I'm going to do that. I will cast detect magic. Oh, that leaves me with one more first level spell slot. Do I detect any magic within 30 feet, Master DM?
You do not.
Shit. What if I run 5 feet that way?
No, you can make a little 10-foot pattern around you. You still don't find anything.
Damn it. Yeah, I don't sense anything, guys.
Okay, well, let's just keep going the direction that he went, and maybe we'll find him. And then we'll just have to worry about finding our way out.
Give me perception checks.
17.
22.
Damn.
9.
Okay. As Grim is kind of looking at everything, he's pretty focused, I would imagine, on the boars and the people. So, Grim, you see that the boars, well, at least the one that died on its right side, you see what looks like a weird pattern, and at first you think you charred or scarred it with your thing, but when you look closer, you actually think it's a brand. And it's what appear to be. God, it's got to be the size of your fist, right? That's how big this thing is. And it's 4 long ovals, and then kind of a circular shape below them, and then a 5th oval to the side of that.
Like a really broken Olympic
Kind of
logo?
Crudely made. Yeah. Maybe.
Do I recognize it?
You don't. But when you kind of look at it and you're looking at the size of it, it almost looks like if you were to look at your fist, the fingers and then the thumb to the side and the circle at the bottom is the heel, and it's about the same size because it's pretty.
I can see it.
It's actually probably bigger than yours, but that's kind of the most immediate shape that kind of seems to pop out at you.
And they're both branded this way.
The other one died on its other side, so you can't see.
Okay. I will kneel down next to it and kind of brush my fingers along the brand to kind of show everybody what I'm looking at. And I will look up and tell them that these are not any mere wild animal.
What do you mean?
Look here. It's been branded. Someone or something either claims ownership or control or both over these beasts.
It's probably the ogres.
I don't know that. I mean, honestly, I don't know that much about ogres, but the stories I've heard, I don't know that they would be intelligent enough to brand boars, let alone control them.
They do like wild pigs. They enjoy wild pigs.
Everybody loves wild pig. It's delicious. But not everybody's smart enough to brand them.
This does have like the crudeness of, something maybe akin to a boar or to an ogre or something else of kind of like that primitive tribal nature.
Could it be that the ogres are organizing more than we realized? Could they be farming and herding animals?
Could be. I mean, I've heard stories
if that's
of
the case,
super
we should
smart ogres.
we should take an extra level of caution in this wood.
I
Is that
agree.
multi-classing? What are we doing?
Yes.
Lilu Dallas multiclass?
I think we should go into the direction that the first boar came from. He seemed really riled up even before he saw us. So let's see what pissed it off.
Phen, with year 22, what you see is not in the direction that you were going and following the light, but you see deep into the brambles, almost to where you can barely see it. Just a slight flash of light. Just kind of drift and then bob and then disappear into the darkness of the woods beyond.
Found the light.
Where?
Way deep in
Like-
the woods, like through where where the pig came from, but not quite.
We gotta kind of go that way, and I'll point and just kind of start hustling that way.
With haste, let's go. It's too late to be
Alright.
quiet.
All right.
Okay. As you continue through, are you going along the trail that the board made?
Yeah.
Okay. As
That's
you
probably the
continue
easiest path.
through, yeah, you see that it pretty well destroyed a lot of like branches and bushes, just decimated this area. There's gouge marks on branches. You see what looks like maybe like claw marks on other things. What looks like some of these trees were used as like scratching posts. You start to see that here and there, and then it kind of looks like maybe they were just in this area. It's very dense. There, the signs of them having been here, but the trail of destruction is only about 100 feet worth of. But it looks like they were traveling through. The way that they move is either on top of the thorn bushes, the thorn branches, which are becoming thicker and more intertwined. You're able to walk along paths and whatnot, and it looks like maybe they do that. And there's the occasional tusk mark of them brushing through, or tufts of fur stuck on the things. But you can also tell from the other one that was in the tree that they can easily climb over this stuff. So they are fairly adept at moving through this place, whereas you guys are in a pretty foreign landscape. It's still mostly forest floor like you'd be used to. You're not like walking along only trees. It's not like some sort of crazy landscape of that, but it's definitely becoming much denser, and the thorn branches are becoming much thicker. The occasional, it's much more common to see the like 6-inch diameter ones that you saw when you were traveling in the cart, but you're also starting to see the ones that are like double that size, with big thorns in them. The kind of thorns that if you like tripped, you'd impale yourself on. It's getting harder to see too far ahead. It's also getting harder for you to imagine that a child would have come through here.
How far ahead was this light?
A ways.
I'm asking Phen.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I say. It was that way. I only saw it for a second, but I saw a light.
And if you can imagine,
Sure.
it was the size of like I don't know, like the head of a torch. I mean, it did not look like the head of a torch, but if you can imagine it was that size, what you saw was the equivalent of like a lightning bug. You know what I mean? Like that's the difference of what we're talking about. Having seen.
Okay.
Guys, I think stealth has gone the way of the dodo. It's time we either get the hell out of here or really get to searching for this kid. I'm ready to start calling his name.
Well,
I agree. I think we should
Yeah.
also go back more closer towards the edge.
okay.
All right. So backtracking out, and I'll start calling for Falcon every few minutes as we try to exit. Professor Falcon!
It's gotten quite a bit darker as you've been in here.
Phen, you doing okay? You can still see?
Yeah.
DM?
It just feels like it's gotten darker. Not enough time has passed for daylight to change or anything to that effect. But there's a very rich woody smell that you think is being given off by these thorns. Like it has a very particular acrid smell. And in the area where the boars were, there's a very thick musk still in the air. As you kind of get out into the just kind of trees part of the wood, it starts to feel more like you're just outside as opposed to really in this choked area. But you never really shake the feeling that like something is watching you or nearby, like especially now that you've seen what these things were capable of in like the trees and how they can climb and move. You just feel very much like prey in the wood, right? As you kind of get towards the edge, and you can't see town, but you can see where the woods are going to start opening up. You hear the distant sound of someone yelling, and it at first just sounds like and then from slightly different ways away, you hear hey. Then another voice outside. It's clearly different voices. Another voice elsewhere you hear. Phen!
What was that?
Grim! Shae!
I have no idea.
That last voice sounded like it said Shae.
Phen!
They're yelling Phen?
Grim!
Oh shit. They know our names.
Shae!
These fucking boars have gotten smart.
It's just two boars on top of each other in a trench coat.
Suddenly Grim is terrified. It's that -1 int kicking in.
Let's go see who's yelling and what they want.
All right, then. We'll head in the direction of the voice.
As you kind of hurry along, you eventually see that there are townsfolk. The constable, the farmer, and then Roken, and they're each holding it's daylight out, so they're not holding torches. They're holding like the farmer's holding a pitchfork. The constable has a sword out, and then Roken has what looks to be a warhammer, and they're each pretty spaced out on the road. But as soon as they see you, they kind of move towards you and say, like, "Thank the gods, you're all right." They're looking you over and they're like, "How deep did you go?"
I don't know. We ran into some big ugly boars.
And the farmer will say, "You saw the boars and you lived?"
Killed 2 of them.
Oh, there's 2 of them right back there, about 100 feet. I can't imagine we should let the meat go to waste. They're tasty.
They're more than 100 feet away now.
Well, they're more than 100 feet away, but they're yummy.
The constable says, "Been a while since anyone near here took down a briar tusk."
Did you find the boy?
The farmer sighs, fairly exasperated, and says, "Aye, the boy was hiding on one of the ships. Apparently he stowed away to get a look at what it looked like. Don't you be worried.
Grim is visibly relieved.
He will be punished for causing such trouble."
Oh, don't be too hard on him. He's just a kid.
Yeah, I'm gonna totally play up to him and call him Lord Vonnen, and ask him not to be too hard on the boy. After all, he is just a child. He's seeking his own adventure and his own path.
Either way, he needs to know not to make folk fear for him. I lost a horse today looking for him, and you could have easily lost your lives. As could I have.
Fair enough. Still, it's adventurous spirit like that this world truly needs.
The constable spits on the ground and says, "Maybe we would have found out a little bit sooner had the Navy been willing to help us search."
I really have no reason or point of reference, but I'm just going to go, Navy, just to kind of try and relate to the constable.
The third time I've reported missing people, and they haven't had any care to look into local matters.
People go missing often here?
No, not at all. But the boy today, young woman some months ago, a man maybe a year before that.
Are there any reports of other activity in the wood? We've definitely seen something that would indicate there's something in there other than an ogre.
Oh, there's plenty said to be in that wood.
Anything that might
Roken points
take
with
a
his
child?
warhammer and says, "Don't you be starting with the war dead too."
War dead?
What?
If you remember or recall, Taran believes the wood to be haunted by the spirits of the dead, those who died in the war dead.
Did not recall. Glad I did not recall. Would not have charged into the woods shouting a child's name had I recalled. Although I can turn undead.
There's a big group of people who think that the woods are haunted and or filled with the actual undead remains of armies that died there. There are those who just know that there are ogres and the briar tusks and other dangerous creatures. Roken says, "There may be spirits in that wood, but it's silly to think the whole thing's haunted and full of shambling meat sacks."
The only shambling we saw were those large tusked boar. I sensed no other magic.
He kind of rubs at his beard with his hammer, says, "Aye, those big boar are the dominant predator of the Briarwood."
Are we sure we want to leave those carcasses there? I mean, I'm sure there are butchers in town that would love to get their hands on that.
There's a chance they may not be there anymore, lad.
Oh, and hadn't considered that. So next time we got to bring them with us.
After all this excitement, I wouldn't send anyone back into the wood. The constable says,
no, that's fair. I'm not real excited to go back in there just for a steak. So.
Yeah, me neither.
The constable says, "I don't know how many people in town you could convince to eat those things anyway. Most people think they have bad juju on them."
Yeah, bad juju or some good pepper and salt.
The farmer kind of leans on his pitchfork and rests a little bit. Obviously looking, his shirt is still bloodied, but he's healed because he has all of 6 HP or whatever. You got them all.
You got them all.
He kind of leans on it and he says, I can't thank you enough for searching for my boy.
Well, we we were actually this morning visited your farm. We heard stories about what happened an old 60 years ago, about some rock that fell from the sky.
Yeah. The star damn near burnt half my crops up. Or, well, not mine, but my grandpappy.
Do you have any idea where any of this rock is or went to?
My grandfather used to tell us stories about the rich men from the cities who came down. Or, even them, noble folk who live in the mansions up north. Maybe some of them. I heard, Grandpa used to say that they took it back to Seraphis, made it into magical armor for some high and mighties. I don't rightly know or remember the story as much.
I see.
I remember
So there's
some of the money went to really building up parts of the town, from the Half Harbor Inn to Brass and Barley. Put in a whole new dock with that money.
must have been a lot of money. Does any of the pieces still remain in town?
Oh,
Or has it
no,
all been sold?
They took all of it. Various merchants. It was a busy enough time of year. Grandpa said they sold off every bit and piece within a couple hours. As soon as word got around town, everyone wanted to come see the rock. And soon the offers started coming in.
How big was the rock?
Well, Grandpa used to say, and he holds out his arms, so he kind of like makes a ring where his hands are maybe like a foot apart, like as he a big bear hug around air, and then the fingertips are still a foot apart, so weird like 3 foot circle. It's something like that. Big chunk of ore.
Do you know what it looked like? Do you still have any, or did your grandpa save any?
No, they sold all of it. Times was lean enough, and the town needed to get building. But he said it shone like silver, shone like the moon. Grandpa
Grim
said he
kind of
always thought
tap.
it was a moon rock. Part of the
Grim
moon
taps
itself.
his pocket where the tiny stone is in kind of a sad, pathetic, oh, we only have a pebble of it kind of way.
Well, maybe we could go up north and track it down. Maybe.
Indeed. At least ask some questions.
Yeah.
Farmer Vonnen, I'm glad your son is okay. Make sure everyone knows the name of Shae, the hero of the day, who was willing to put her own life on the line to battle boars to bring your son home.